Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. I am going to give it 2 more minutes before we get started. But just to kind of give you guys a sneak peek, I'm going to talk about setting up a recorded webinar so someone can watch it on demand, and making a Facebook ad to capture their information, and then they can watch the webinar. And I'll show you a great webinar option that lets them ask questions that you can get back to them during the after the webinar is over, and also has some call to action buttons on the webinar as well if they want to take like further steps while they're watching it. So I'm going to wait another minute or two, just because usually people come on a few minutes later and then I have to redo everything. Here comes some more folks. Yay, welcome. And while we're going, I will put a few things up here. Get into my Facebook actually, because we'll need that later. Okay. Okay, looks like we got a good little group happening here. All right, so I wanted to talk about doing a webinar that you can pre-record and then have it available for people to watch on demand, but run a Facebook ad for it so that they can sign up to see it. You can capture their information. We'll throw that over into KV Core so that you have that, and then you can they can watch the video, but you've captured their information. And you could use automations after that depending on what kind of webinar you're going to do. So today I'm going to do as if we're doing a webinar about the high interest rates that are happening. I know everybody's like, what's happening? I know I just bought a house in July, and so my mortgage rate was almost double what it was of the house that I had before, which is very sad and hard. But I think that's keeping a lot of people on the market right now. So I thought I'd concentrate on that. A really good reason to do it on this topic is because you can involve your lender in this, get your lender to talk about all the things and all the reasons. And I'm going to go over some of the things that they can talk about, but also you can get your lender to pay for some of this ad spend for you. Because like one of the call to action buttons that we can put in to the webinar could be a link to get pre-approved with your lender. And so those are all good reasons to get your lender involved and get them to kind of chip in a little money for you for your ad spend. So let's get started. I am going to share my screen. So it's called ClickMeeting. If you go to clickmeeting.com, you can get a free trial. You can try it for 30 days for free. And then you have to pay for it. And I think to do online recorded webinars, it's like $45 a month. So if this is something that, works well for you, you can definitely, keep paying for it or whatever, or you can just try it out and see if it works first before you spend the money and run an ad for 30 days and see how it goes. Okay, so basically the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our webinar. So I would highly recommend you get with your lender and you guys, set up a iPhone. It doesn't have to be fancy. They're not going to see it until after they give you their contact information anyway. Obviously you don't want to look, unprofessional or anything, but it doesn't have to be super produced or anything like that. You just have your lender on, maybe make a PowerPoint, a few slides talking about the interest rates. And I'm going to give you guys, actually just put some topics on here that you guys can talk about. So for instance, I think a lot of people don't understand, they see these interest rates, but what does that really mean for my monthly payment? Maybe making a different down payment, how that can change the amount you're spending, maybe have we just had, when we bought our house, I didn't understand what discount points were. I didn't know. And we got our mortgage rate to go down a little bit by doing that. Maybe when it's appropriate to do that, when it's not appropriate to do that, maybe doing like a 15 versus 30, because you can get a lower interest rate that way. You can talk about adjustable rate mortgages. You could actually say, here's our opinion on what's going to happen in the future. And then another good spot to talk about, just to be very local about it, is you as a real estate agent could say, here are like 3 really up and coming areas that I think are going to really increase in value over the next, 5 to 10 years, but it's a cheaper option right now to buy. Things like that you can talk about that people might not know about. So these are all topics that you can think about adding into your webinar if you did it on this topic, but you could do it on all sorts of topics. You could do you could do it for people who are selling their home for sale by owner, or you could do it for, strategies to sell your home, whatever it is that you want to do it on, you could do it. This is just kind of the topic du jour of what's happening kind of in the market right now. So that's why I chose it. Okay, so you'll want to go ahead and you want to record that. And then in here, you can go to My Files and you can upload your video. So I've already uploaded a video here, but you would just, you'd have it on your computer, you'd upload the file. The file is there for you to use. And it's available in kind of your library. That makes sense. Then you're going to go to create a webinar, and instead of being a live webinar, we're going to do an on-demand webinar, meaning anytime anyone goes to the link, it's going to play the webinar for them. And so you want to name your event, I can spell, I can't type. If you have been with me before, obviously, any kind of whatever title you want to make it, or, learn how to lower your interest rate from an expert, or, whatever you want to say it is. And then we're going to add our elements. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our file. So we're going to go to video that we already uploaded and add that in. And here are a couple of interesting options. The first one is leave a message. And I would say at the beginning of your video, if you want to say something like, hey, this is a recorded video, but if you have a message, you can leave us a message below. We will get back to you within 24 hours with any questions, to answer any questions you might have. And they can actually leave a message. So it is a little bit interactive. I would totally allow them to play, pause, rewind, all that kind of stuff, or fast forward. That's great. And then you can also put in a call to action. So you could say, the button could say, get pre-approved. And you could, you can choose the background color that you want for your button or whatever. And then you can put your lender's pre-approval link in there if you wanted to. And you could also, and this is what it's going to look like. And then also you can say, okay, I want it to start on minute 0 and display for, 5 minutes, or you could have it display the whole time. But you could put in these custom call to action buttons, and you'll just title this like pre-approval. And, if you think about it, you could do more than one. You could say, okay, pre-approval, here's the link. Oh, I gotta put a link in here. Let's just put my KB4 link in here. But yeah, you would just obviously put your lender's pre-approval link in there. And then maybe, and here's, you can say, okay, I want the pre-approval to run here, but maybe right at like the end, I'm talking about those 3 up and coming areas that are great to start investing in your area. So you could do, you could add another call to action button that says area search and browse homes in these areas. And you could make a squeeze page for whatever area. I don't think actually mine's not hooked up to an MLS, but you would, oh yes, there it goes. It's thinking about it. It's slow because I'm zooming. Actually, I've got about 80 tabs open, which is unhelpful. There we go. Well, whatever, elementary school. Huh. And you could, you'd put the area in, you'd get the link. Maybe you want them to register. Maybe you don't want them to register because really technically they've already registered before they got to this webinar. So you might say, I don't need them to register. And then you could put that link in here. And then maybe make that, blue or something. And then, that's at the end of yours. So there could be 2 different call to action buttons right on your webinar. And then we're going to say, do we want people to have to do a password? No, because we're going to get their contact information before they get here. So we're going to say it's open to all. And you can also then set up your agenda. So you can, put in, and we kind of talked about this before, maybe we start with this. We gotta, and these would be times or whatever. And you could just put like, minute 0 to the first 5 minutes, the second 5 minutes or whatever. Just so they can kind of know what's happening, because maybe they just wanted to find out about those areas and they could skip down to the last part, which is this one, right? And, you could say, whatever you want to say in here. You don't have to wait for interest rates to go back down. You have answers to all your mortgage questions. Like that, something like that. And obviously you put all your stuff in there. And the other thing you can do is you can put your presenter info in, and actually that's over here. I think. No, it is. Oh, here, it's right here. So you just hit this and you can put your picture in if you want. So you could upload your picture, or you could upload your lender's picture, or you could upload a picture of you and your lender together on the picture, or something like that. So I've got a picture of me in here. There we go. And then maybe this might take a second because we're zooming, but maybe you want to put maybe you want to put, a little bit about your lender, a little bit about yourself and whatnot. And then we're going to create the invitation. And here is where you want to send your invitations. So you don't really want to send your invitations. You want to copy and paste the details. This is what you want. So now I just copied it. I'm going to put it on this just so you guys can see it. But right here is the link to join. So that's the link we're going to put in our ad. Once they sign up and give us their information, we're going to land them there where they can then watch. And so I'll show you what it looks like. They'll go here and they'll say, okay, I'm going to watch probably on the web. I'm probably not going to download it. And then they're going to see the whole agenda. They're going to see everything. They're going to hit join now.
Did you know that most
And then they're going to get this.
18 months away?
And you see up here is where it says, this is your call to action button up here. So they can do that at any time. And over here is their leave a message button, which they can also do at any time. And I think it's just kind of glitching because I'm also zooming at the same time, but that's kind of what happens. So they can leave a message if they want to, and then you'll get that message. I think it'll probably email to you from Click Meeting. So that's how you get the, we had a question and I was not even paying attention. How long do you suggest the webinars run? I would go with not longer than an hour, probably 30, 40 minutes. Like, you know, people don't have like this crazy attention span, but you do want it to be robust enough that you're getting all the information out to them. Max an hour, I would say somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. Okay. Let me go back to where I was at. So now we've got our link that we want. So now we got to make an ad. So I'm going to go to my favorite place, which is Canva. And I actually already made one. Where is that? Doesn't like me today. Oh, here it is. I made it here. So in Canva, you can make videos, like really simple 15-second videos. And I like video for ads because it's moving, and moving, if something's moving, it stops the scroll. So I already made this one, but I'll go back and show you guys how to make it. But here it is. You know, I kind of did a little Halloween action here. You know, you're waiting for interest rates to go back down. You don't have to. You know, watch our free webinar. You want to say something that makes it like it's exclusive, like not just like hear from a lender, like, oh, these are our secrets, or, you know, this is exclusive information or something like that, to make them really want to sign up and really want to find out what you have to say. So the way you make one of these guys, it's super easy, is you're going to go to videos and you're going to go to Facebook video. Then that's a question. Can you, for the people taking an existing presentation and convert it? Can you do for people taking an existing presentation, convert it to a webinar like this? Like if you already have a presentation that you've recorded, yeah, you would just upload the file. Or if you have a presentation that you're used to giving, just record it and upload the file. You can totally do that. You would just go into right here into My Files, and you're just going to upload your video of anything. Like if you already have a video, oh, I have the video, they can put in the place settings. I'm not sure what you mean by place settings. But you can put all the stuff in that I said. If you've already got the video, just add it here, and then all that other stuff like the call to action buttons and all that other stuff can get added in. Yeah. Where was I? The 10-minute mark, they see this, the 20-minute. Yeah, exactly. So when you're making the webinar, let's go back to where did our webinar go? Right here. So this is the one we just made. We're going to edit it. Yeah, so you would just you know, when you've uploaded it, you're going to choose the video, but then under the waiting room tab is where you put like all that stuff. Can the KV Core folks do that for me for a fee? I can do almost anything you like for a fee, Michael. Yeah, if you want to do something like this, I would recommend going to Marketplace and go to Done For You Services, and you can schedule a consultation with me. We'll talk about everything you want to accomplish, and then I'll let you know how much it would be depending on what you needed. And yes, this is something I can do for you for sure. I mean, I can't record the video for you. You'd have to do that part, but everything else I could do for you. Okay. Let's go back to here. So we're going to say social media, Facebook video. And the way I did this with the video is every picture or slide you put in is 5 seconds long, but you can make it shorter if you want to. You can like make it 3 sections or whatever. So I just looked for a picture of a skeleton waiting on a bench. I picked, where did he go? This guy. Mostly because, actually, I'm gonna drag him over and I'll put him up. Mostly because it had a darker background and I could put the white lettering back there and it looked good. So you could say, okay. Over here. Waiting for, oh, actually, let me get all caps. Waiting for interest rates to go back down. And we're gonna do something big like that. Put it up here. We're gonna make it white so you can see it. We're going to put the line spacing closer together. Oh, poop. Let's do it all here. Line spacing closer together. And then you can also like put some effects on it. Like I like this effect because it kind of just, again, like puts a little bit of a shading behind it to make it stand out more. And then I searched for a picture. Buying a house. Oopsies. Buy a house. And I found these guys. They're very excited about it. And then what you can do instead of having to reformat everything, you just take this, right click it, copy it, go to the next one, paste it. And you can say, you don't have to. You have to. You don't have to. Maybe you do have to. You don't have to. And then I'm going to make it a little shorter. And then I'm going to say webinar. I found, where did I find that picture? There it is right there. Actually, I'm going to drag it over. Put it over here. And then I said, what did I say? I said, again, I'm going to copy this, copy, paste it. I'm actually going to make this black because I think it'll stand out better. And then, yeah, so then you have that. So now we're going to animate. Love to animate. So if you animate it, it can look like that, or it can look like that. I like the rise. So I'm going to animate all of these. Just the movement. Movement is good. So now it's really short video. We're talking what, 11 seconds for Facebook. That's good. You don't want anything more than 15 or it doesn't play correctly. So we're going to download it as an MP4. Download. And then it's going to think about it a while. And while it's downloading, we're going to go over to Facebook. Where are you? Go over to Facebook Ads Manager. And we are going to create an ad. So, oh, God, Facebook just loves to change things. I'm going to go to a different account because that one's not active. This one, it's not mine, but it's my best friend's husband, so you won't care. We'll delete this anyway after we're done. So we're gonna create it. We're gonna create an ad. And we're gonna say, okay, I want this to be for leads. You can do traffic if you wanted to go to a landing page or a registration page. But I want the leads. And the reason I want the leads is that any lead generation ad, this is my gold standard for using Facebook. If you're going to use Facebook, there are times you're going to want to use these other ones, but normally 99 times out of 100, I do leads, because what it does is it pre-fills the lead form with their name, phone number, and email. That's straight out of their Facebook profile. So they're not typing in that their name is Mickey Mouse and that their email is leavemealone@gmail.com. They're actually, doing that. So the other option really is to do like a, they could, okay, I'll show you at the end. They can put in fake information. They could erase it and put what they want in. You could do a traffic ad to a landing page that then sends them an email with the registration link, because then they have to give you correct information or they're never going to get the registration link. But I think in this case, you could try it both ways and kind of see what you get better. Normally people just want to get to what they want and they'll go ahead and click through. And also, like, having that many steps might preclude them to actually getting to the webinar, but you could try it that way too. But I like the lead gen. I'm gonna hit continue. Okay, so it's gonna take me here. So this is gonna be my webinar registration campaign. Ah, no, stop. Okay, well, that's not good. My keyboard is freaking out. I'm afraid to type webinar. Okay, so you're going to have to tell Facebook that it's a housing ad. I know that it's not super clear that it is in the ad, but they're really crazy about this. So they will probably deny your ad if you don't tell them it's a housing ad. So you'll want to do that. Then you want to say, okay, I'm in the United States. And then that's next. And we want instant forms. This is what we want. We don't want to go to your website. We don't want to talk to them in Messenger. We want instant forms. And then our budget is whatever you want it to be. So, I haven't run this ad yet. It kind of depends when I say budget, like how many leads do you want, right? And because this isn't, if this is a live webinar, I would put in a great big budget that only ran for 5 days leading up to the actual webinar. But because this is on demand, can run forever, really. You just want to do a daily budget that you're comfortable with. I don't like to go less than 10 a day. Oh, not $1,000 a day. Because I know it's totally anecdotal. Like I can't prove it, but I feel like once you get under 10, Facebook kind of doesn't really take you seriously and doesn't really optimize things. I like to keep it over 10. It's just been my experience running a ton of ads. But if you have more money to spend, more money is great. Always, more money you spend, the more ads you'll get, or the more leads you get. That's just basically how it is. It's not going to top out and kind of like plateau until you get to like hundreds of dollars. So I wouldn't worry about that. So I would leave your start date. I would not set an end date. I would leave it open-ended. Now, if you're one of those people that forgets about this stuff, then maybe you do want to do an end date so that you're not, Facebook isn't charging you $10 a day for the next year. But I like to leave it open-ended because, and I'll show you when we're done, that there's this little toggle, it's right over here actually, that you can turn it on and off as you like. So like if you want to run it for a week, see how many leads you get, turn it off. Maybe you don't have any more money that month, but next month you just had a big closing, you've got some more money you can devote to it. Great, I'm going to turn it back on. Having an end date not here allows you to toggle that on and off. If you set an end date, then the ad will time out and you'll have to actually copy the ad down to be able to run it again. Okay, so audiences, we're gonna do, your location is gonna be where you are. Obviously, you don't want everybody in the country because that doesn't help you. So you're gonna put it in your area. So I'm in Portland. And you can make it even bigger, radius, but it has to be a 15-mile radius around any spot when you're doing housing. And then we're going to, you can't change any of this because Facebook doesn't let you if it's a housing ad. And then you're going to do your targeting. So if you think about it, who would want to watch this? There are some things that house hunting is the movie. No, I don't want house hunting the movie. Well, they're interested in the house, real estate, but mortgage loans, because they're looking to get a mortgage, right? Mortgage calculator. Mortgage insurance, maybe. So those are good ones to do. So these are people that have looked at this stuff before. You could also, people who are house hunting have been on Zillow. They've been on Trulia. You would think Redfin would be on here, but it's not, unless they changed it. No, it's not. Okay. So this is a good basic audience for people that are looking to buy a home. And then this is what it's telling you that you can expect to get 11 to 31 leads. This, I never look at this. And the reason for that is Facebook has zero idea what your ad is about, what your ad copy is, like how effective it is. This could be wildly inaccurate. So I never, just don't go by that, thinking that's what you're going to get or that's all you're going to get. It's just, all this is based off of is what your audience size is, which is, this is a good audience size. So we're going to say next. And this is where the magic happens. We need to pick a page. Obviously, you should pick your own Facebook page. And then you're going to add a single image. Oh, here it is, add media. So you're going to add a video. So we're going to add that video that we made in Canva. We're going to upload it. Downloads. There it is. So it's going to upload. Then we're going to say, okay, you have options to your interest rate. We have insider solutions to get. Why? My keyboard is actually really weird. Let's try that again. You can just say, watch our exclusive webinar with our area expert lender that will give you the inside knowledge to get in the market without leaving, or something like that. And then the headline is watch insider webinar on demand. Let them know let them know that they can watch it right then. Like, a lot of people are like, do I want to sign up for something that's happening in the future, like I don't have time or I don't know, but I can watch it right now. It's like 2 in the morning and I can't sleep and I've come across this and I want to like watch this video right now, then that would be a great way to go. Really. Mark asked me really. I don't know what you mean by really. Which part of really do we not? Which part of something I said are we really? Let me know. Okay. So we want to make sure you know that. And then the call to action, I think sign up is good. Yeah, sign up is a good one to use. You could do learn more as well. Okay, now we need to make a form. So the way you make a form on Facebook is you're going to name your form. This would be webinar. And then you are going to go more volume, always. You could upload an image if you wanted to, or otherwise it will pull from your video. And I usually remove the greeting, but in this particular situation, I think I actually might leave it in. And this is where I'm going to put in all the stuff that we're going to talk about. Give them a reason to want to watch this, a reason to want to sign up for it. So you could say, in this 45-minute webinar, we will cover payments, down payment options, points. Actually, too many here. They only let you do a few. Let's just do paragraph. Right. We'll cover this. And we'll see this. Or less. Did I mess that up? Yes, it did less. Okay. And then, so the questions are going to be, we want their, oh, we don't want any custom questions. We want pre-fill questions. So we want their email. We don't want their full name. We want their first name. Oopsies. What did I just do? Sorry. Contact fields. Oh, we want their phone number. First name. Come back to me. Last name. So I want first name first, then the last name, then the email. Because the way KV Core works, first name and last name are separated fields. So sign up to watch the on-demand webinar now. Oh, you could also say my intro. Ask us questions during the webinar. You know, to let them know, hey, it's kind of interactive, even though it's recorded. Okay, so privacy policy. This is where you need to go to your KV Core website, like mine. This is my KV Core, but down here, privacy policy is right there. You just need to pull that link and put it right there. And then the message is, thanks, you're all set. Watch the exclusive webinar, no, whatever you want to say. And then the call to action button is going to be view website. The call to action text would be watch the webinar. And then the link is going to be that link, if you recall, right here of the webinar that we made. And then you can publish it Let's just make sure it's correct. Yeah, you're gonna publish it. You want to make sure it's images required if user upload selected context card. Okay, be that way. Well, that's fine. We're going to go back to here. Over here. Copy it. Facebook. Oh, I want it to be square. I don't want it to be that. Facebook post is what I want. Yeah. So we're gonna put our guy in here. We're going to put our caption right there. And you just need to get a still picture, basically, is what they need. Download, add. So it's going to upload an image. Make them happy. And so this is what they're going to look, this is what they're going to see on their phone, really. You're going to be like, okay, this is what they're going to see. Then they're going to hit next. Then they're going to see this. And this is all going to get pre-filled out by Facebook. Facebook's going to put all that stuff in there. So all they have to do is hit next. Then they're going to see this. They're going to hit submit. And then they're like, thanks, you're all set. Watch the webinar. It's going to go there. Okay, now we're going to publish this puppy. And then we're gonna publish the ad. Now I'm not going to publish the ad because, like I said, it's not my account, but we're going to leave this up because I published the form. So at this point, last thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to go to Zapier. And you're going to have to get your leads over into kvCORE. So you're going to make a zap. You're going to say, I want Facebook lead ads. I'm going to get a new lead. Continue. Choose my account. This is me. Oh, actually, yeah, me. Continue. Page. Has to be the page that your page that you did. You should only have. Still living. There we go. You should only have yours. I just have a ton because I work with a ton of real estate agents doing this for them, like Michael asked me to. Where's it at? I know you're in here. Refined and known. Oh, there it is. Thank goodness. So then you choose your form. So it's going to think about it some more. Here's that form webinar that we talked about. I'm going to hit continue. Now it's going to ask, it's going to test your trigger. You don't have any leads in here yet because you just started the ad. It's just going to pull in a dummy lead for you, which is fine. We need that for the mapping. So then we're going to send it over to kvCORE. So we want a new lead to go into kvCORE. Continue. And then you're going to choose your account. Now, I have my account in here already, but like if you don't have your account in here, you would say connect a new account, and in, you can do it real fast. It's going to ask you for your Zapier key in KV Core. You go to marketing, nope, you go to lead engine, all lead engine tools, and go to your lead Dropbox. This is your Zapier key right here. Now, if you are a team lead, if you are a company admin, a broker, somebody else, you will have multiple keys. You'll have one for yourself, one for your team, one for your office, one for your company. You want to pick the correct one. So if you're doing this for your whole team and the leads are going to go to your whole team, you pick your team key. But if they're only going to you, you're going to pick your key. So you're going to pick that key, and you would, when you connect it, you would put it right here and hit continue. Oops, I didn't copy the key right. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you put the key in here, you hit continue. I'm not going to do that because mine's already connected. And then you set up your action. So your action is going to be first name. You just got to map them over, right? So the first name coming out of Facebook is going first name into KV Core. Your lead type, what do you want this to be? Well, obviously it's probably a buyer, right? That's how they're going to come into KV Core. Their last name is their last name. Their email is their email. Their cell phone is their phone number. And then what do you want their status to be? I would definitely put new, maybe prospect if you think, but I think new. Source. So in KV Core, where are you? Your source is over here. If you don't put in a source, it's going to be Zapier is going to be your source. If you put in a source, like maybe you want it to be, you want to be able to track everybody that's coming from this source, you could put the source is, oh, Zapier, where are you? ClickMeeting. The other great reason for doing a source is because if you're doing it for your team or for your company and you want to like do lead routing, you can do it by that source. Make a rule for everybody that comes in from that source. So ClickMeeting could be your source. Right here, interested in city. I would, if I were you, I would put in your city, or I would put in maybe a zip code of one of those up and coming areas that you picked out. If you put a city and a price in here, it will automatically set them up with a listing alert when they come in for that area and that price. So you can actually, it doesn't have to be city, it does say city, but you can put, can be a city or it can be a zip code. So you can put a zip code and a price, and then they'll automatically get a listing alert set up upon import that you don't even have to do it if you don't want to. If you want a more specific alert to get set up in something like this, just a price in an area, you can skip this part and I'll show you what to do with your hashtags in a second. The note could be, you know, this lead watched my interest rates webinar. And then your tag could be interest rates webinar. And maybe interest rates webinar. That looks weird. I'm just gonna maybe, like I said, if you wanted a more specific listing alert, you could make it happen off of the tag. So when they come in, they'll get that tag added to them, and you hit continue, and then test and continue. And it's just going to test it to make sure it works. It did. And so any new lead that comes in is going to go directly in there. So let's say that you wanted to do that. You could go to marketing, all marketing, search alerts, and say anybody that comes in with that hashtag, which was, what was it? It has to be exactly the same. Interest rates. I think it was rate webinar. Then anybody that comes in that hashtag, you could pick maybe you could draw on the map of those fun areas that you had talked about in the webinar or whatever it is, but it's automation. That way you don't have to do it yourself, because if they come into KV Core from something like this, unlike coming in from like a squeeze page where we know what they looked at and can set up an alert for them automatically, system's not going to set up an alert for them because they don't know what they were looking at or looking for. So you have to do it, or you set up this automation so now everybody just gets one. And of course, if you make contact with them, you can always change it out. The other thing you could do is with that hashtag is you could make a campaign that triggers from that hashtag. So, I want to start a trigger when, when the hashtag is, that interest rates webinar. It's not going to be, oh, there it is, right there, interest rates webinar. And maybe you want to make sure it's when the source is, or you could do it by source too. The source is, it's not going to be in here because we haven't sent it over yet, but like click, what did we say? Click meeting was the source. You could do it by source too. And maybe you have a few follow-up emails that you want to send out because there may be a different lead than your regular new lead campaign. But you can set up all that automation to happen before you even start running your ad so that everything comes in. You're getting the campaign, they're getting the listing alert, they're good to go. Whew, okay. I was trying to get this in under an hour so we have time for questions. So I think I did it. We've got 8 minutes left. Who has questions, and how can I answer them? I'll answer whatever you have. It can be about this or it can be about anything else. Anybody? Anyone? Okay. Recording going to be on YouTube. Yes, the recording will be on YouTube. Usually it takes a couple of days to get up there, but once it does, it will be there. And I will also post it to the Facebook page. So I do the Wednesday ones, and I'm kind of proactive about it. I always post mine. It's in here somewhere. Yeah, so like that's one of mine I did. I always post mine. The other trainers might not post their Tuesday and Thursday ones, but I always try and post mine in the Facebook group, and it'll be on YouTube as well. And YouTube, actually, we have a playlist for these now. So there you can see these are all the ones, but I think we have a playlist for it as well, which is don't we? I thought we did. Oh yeah, we do, right there. I missed it. Yeah, so all of them are right there too. So you can find them there. Anybody else? No. Okay, well, that was super fun. I hope you guys try this. Like I said, get your lender involved, get them to pay for the ad spend, make sure you're sending the leads over them. A big selling point with them is, being able to put that call to action button in there where, they're in the middle of that. They want to go directly to their website and get pre-approved. They can. And if they're already watching that video, then you've already got their contact information in KV Core anyway. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to shut her down. Feel free to post any questions on YouTube when this goes up, or let me know. And again, if you want some help with this, or really anything else you can do in KV Core, but you don't want to do it, you can talk to me, my Done For You services. And also I have one-on-one coaching sessions and one-on-one help sessions. These are 30 minutes. These are an hour. I run these. You won't talk to anyone else but me. If you want to sign up there too. Okay. All right, everybody. I'm shutting her down. Have an excellent rest of your week. Take care.